You've probably heard of the American Heart Association, the number one authority for information on heart health. Today we're going to be reading their article titled, "There's No Reason to Avoid Seed Oils and Plenty of Reasons to Eat Them." In my opinion, this might just be one of their most professional pieces of work, and we're going to very clearly debunk them with hard facts and scientific studies. If you're like me, when you're done watching this, you're going to ask an important question. It's not about why are they wrong, but why are they influenced to say things like this? Alright? Let's start reading. The Hateful Eight may sound like an old-time Western movie, but this showdown doesn't involve Western movies, cowboys, horses, or even guns. It's a battle over the supposed dangers posed by 8 seed oils: canola, corn, cottonseed, grapeseed, soy, rice bran, sunflower, and safflower, and it's being fought on social media. To listen to some people on TikTok, YouTube, or number of podcasts, the oil extracted from these plants is trying to poison us. But is it really? It's so odd that the internet has gone wild demonizing these things, said Christopher Gardner, a professor of medicine at Stanford University School of Medicine in California, and a nutrition scientist at the Stanford Prevention Research Center. They are not to be feared. Okay, this is it. Take notes, guys. The misleading charge is that seed oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids that break down into toxins when using for cooking, causing inflammation, weakening the immune system, and contributing to various chronic illnesses. This argument is flawed in numerous ways, Gardner says. Okay, this is the interesting part, guys. They never actually respond to this claim, which is that they break down into toxins, which cause chronic illness. They talk about the omega-6 fatty acids in a vacuum, but the toxins are generally the worst part. Many people would agree. And you're going to be very interested by this, so watch till the end, and I'll explain to you why they're so harmful. Let's keep reading though. First, while seed oils do contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, that's not a bad thing. Omega-6 is a polyunsaturated fat that the body needs but cannot produce itself, so it must get it from foods. Okay, polyunsaturated fats help produce bad cholesterol, they say, lowering the risk of heart disease and stroke. The American Heart Association supports including omega-6 fatty acids as part of a healthy diet. Alright, so that sounds like, okay, why are they wrong? Alright? This is an issue of reductionist thinking, alright? So if you look at it in a vacuum and look at studies, PUFA can reduce LDL, and reduced LDL in some studies is associated with decreased heart disease risk. However, we already know that too much omega-6 in general leads to more all-cause cardiovascular disease and all-cause mortality. And that means that's incorrect. That's like saying all donkeys are brown, Jimmy is brown, therefore Jimmy is a donkey. It's not really accurate, right? So we're going to talk about that more, but first let's continue this. This charge is already misleading. It says, while seed oils do contain high levels of omega-6 fatty acids, that's not a bad thing, and their argument is because they're essential in the diet, right? But is this really true? Yes, and it's true in a vacuum, but not in practice. The issue with a lot of these things is that we are looking for practical application, not nitpicky facts, right? So if you look at this, has anyone in America experienced omega-6 deficiency? It is extremely rare or unheard of for individuals in America to experience an omega-6 deficiency. In fact, the modern American diet provides 10 to 15 times, 25 times more omega-6 fatty acids than are needed. While essential fatty acid deficiencies can occur in humans, they're not a common health concern in the United States. Standard American diet is high in processed foods and vegetable oils. Minimal requirements. Only 1 to 2% is needed to prevent deficiency. Okay, so maybe that's just a little nitpick. It's not that simple though. Humans store excess omega-6 fatty acids, so while it's true that omega-6 fatty acids must be eaten, this is very misleading to imply that there is a risk of people not getting enough in their diets. In fact, most people have too much, and if they don't eat any on a day-to-day basis, they will be fine because their body can use the omega-6 that's already there. And I think the studies seem to suggest that that would even benefit them, okay? But let's keep moving. Omega-6 gets unfairly demonized because it plays a smaller role in reducing cardiovascular risk than omega-3 and other polyunsaturated fat found in some plant oils as well as fish, Gardner said. The Western diet typically includes much higher amounts of omega-6s than omega-3s, but research on the optimal balance remains unclear. We're going to respond to that too. That's not true. Studies about the optimal balance between omega-6 to 3 heart ratio, I'll throw some on screen. These were done before this article was posted by Hart. The studies are all in the description. Alright? And you'll be pretty shocked to see this. That doesn't mean omega-6 is bad for you, Gardner said. It just means that omega-3s are better. From a relative perspective, omega-3 fats are more anti-inflammatory than omega-6s. But to flip that and suggest that this means omega-6 fats are pro-inflammatory is wrong. Both omega-6 and omega-3 play a role in the body's inflammatory balance. What is optimal is a balance. Watch this, okay? The optimal balance remains unclear. What is optimal is a balance, okay, but they don't know what that balance is. Alright, interesting. Let's continue though. For example, an inflammatory response to a wound or injury is an important part of the healing process, Gardner said. What we would want to avoid is excessive inflammation or chronically elevated inflammation. Alright, that makes sense, right? That sounds right, because your inflammation, it exists for a reason, right? Keep going. Critics say people often don't realize they're eating seed oils because of the many processed foods that contain them. Gardner said that the real concern should be overeating ultra-processed foods, which may contain harmful ingredients such as high fructose corn syrup, added sugar, and sodium. Alright, that's a fair point. But let's actually dive a little bit deeper into that, right? Let's put it up to some scrutiny. So fair point with avoiding ultra-processed foods. However, ultra-processed foods contain a lot of calories from seed oils. Alright, that doesn't necessarily prove anything, but seed oils themselves are ultra-processed. To be more specific, cleaning, pre-treatment, preparation, cracking, flaking, grinding the seeds to maximize surface area for extraction. None of that sounds too bad, right? It gets worse though. Conditioning and cooking, heating the seeds down to break the cell walls and adjust moisture for better oil yield. Pressing, using a screw press to extract the majority of the oil. Solvent extraction, using a solvent, often hexane, to remove the remaining oil. Refining, degumming, neutralization, bleaching, deodorizing. Again, literally, deodorant, like that's something you put on your skin, like bleach, that's something you put on your laundry. That's something they're putting in the food, the seed oils, to make the oil edible, because without it, it seems disgusting, right? Packaging, final filtration and packaging of the oil. And these steps, right, can cause a lot of harm, right? Anyways, but we can continue though. Seed oils aren't the problem in those foods. It's hard to cast the blame on seed oils when these foods contain so many other things. Okay, fair enough. Negative buzz also surrounds how seed oils are typically produced. Rather than simply pressing the seeds to extract the oil, seeds go through processing to extract their oil. Alright. How much? It's a lot. I would consider that ultra-processing. However, people use seed oils to cook or complement otherwise healthy meals, such as stir-frying vegetables with sesame oil or lightly dressing a salad with sunflower oil. The benefits far outweigh any potential risk, Gardner says. People are cooking with these oils, not drinking them, he said. In a situation where you need some kind of fat for cooking or food preparation, you can use plant oils or you can use butter and lard. Very consistently, all the data say butter and lard are bad for our hearts. Studies show that swapping saturated fats with unsaturated fats... One second. Lowers the risk of heart disease. Okay, couple things here. If people use seed oils to complement otherwise healthy meals. Hasty generalization. A hasty generalization is a logical fallacy where a broad conclusion is drawn from a small, unrepresentative, or insufficient sample size. It is essentially jumping to conclusions. So, again, he's saying this not based off of data, but just his own reasoning, right? But in this example, just because it is put with something good, it outweighs downsides. This isn't even getting into the debate of if saturated fats are bad for your heart or anything like that. But it's like, just because if it is put with something good, it outweighs downsides. People can eat salads without dressing perfectly fine if they choose to. They just might not choose to because it's not hyper palatable. But, I mean, I would argue the property a salad has of not being easy to overeat is kind of what makes it give people the health benefits they're looking for while eating salads, right? So it's kind of ironic to me. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, so if I'm drinking alcohol with like a vegetable, but I wouldn't eat that like vegetable without the alcohol, does that make it better? You know, it's hard to say because you should be able to do it without that. And again, even so, this is irrelevant because that's not about really if it's healthy or not, right? So, because you could put something healthy with them too, right? It's just not part of the debate, right? Well, it may be preferable to cook with olive oil, a key component of the Mediterranean diet, which studies consistently show can lead to lower cardiovascular risk. That's not going to add the right flavor to every type of food, okay? But flavor, not very professional. Yes, food should taste good, but using this as an argument not to avoid seed oils is ridiculous. The same can be said for Oreos. If Oreos help me eat a salad, they're good. When making a vegetable stir fry, for example, he would use sesame toasted oil, right? So, okay, I like sesame oil, therefore we shouldn't avoid seed oils? Again, it's not really the point of the argument. And it means because you did that, you're going to eat the veggie stir fry and the salad, and you're going to eat more of it because of the flavor. Fantastic, he said. The seed oils are not killing you. They're helping you enjoy more healthy foods, all right? But at what cost, right? So that's what we're going to dive into now. So if you take notes, right, if you've been paying attention, you'll know that this was their claim. Their claim up here was this, that omega-6 fatty acids break down into toxins when used for cooking, causing inflammation, weakening the immune system, and contributing to chronic illnesses. They did not talk about that. They talked about how omega-6s in general are associated with better heart health outcomes and how they can make salads taste good, right? And how just because they're in ultra-processed foods doesn't mean why ultra-processed foods are bad, right? So their point was to rebut the claim that the omega-6s broke down into toxins when heated, right? They even specifically went out of the way to say people aren't drinking these, they're cooking with them. But interestingly enough, it would be better if they were drinking them. They didn't do this at all, but the evidence is here, and it's terrifying. The risks are especially bad when heated. However, they are unstable on their own too. We're going to let ChatGPT explain, all right? The core issue: heat plus unsaturated bonds. Most seed oils, soybean, corn, canola, sunflower, safflower, grapeseed, are high in PUFAs. PUFAs contain multiple double bonds, which are chemically unstable. Heat and oxygen attack them easily. When you cook with them, especially frying or high-heat sautéing, they oxidize rapidly. Saturated fats like butter, ghee, tallow, and coconut oil have no double bonds, which makes them thermally resistant and resistant to oxidation. That structural difference changes what forms when cooking. Okay, but what does the oxidation really do, right? That's what matters. What forms when PUFA-rich oils are heated? When polyunsaturated oils are heated, they form lipid peroxidation products, LOPs. These include aldehydes. Think of formaldehyde, it's that kind of aldehyde, such as 4-HNE and acrolein, lipid peroxides, epoxides, reactive oxygen species, which drive oxidative stress. These compounds are biologically active. They are not just damage factors. They interact with tissues in a harmful way, I would add. Metabolic effects of heated PUFA products. Mitochondrial stress. Oxidized PUFA byproducts can damage mitochondrial membranes, interfere with electron transport chain enzymes, reduce ATP production, and increase oxidative stress. Over time, this may impair cellular energy metabolism and cause insulin resistance. Certain lipid oxidation products interfere with insulin signaling mechanisms and can interfere with glucose transport. 4-HNE in particular has been shown to impair GLUT4 activity and interfere with pancreatic beta cell function in experimental models. Elevated oxidative stress is strongly associated with insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes progression. Chronic inflammation. Oxidized omega-6 byproducts can activate inflammatory pathways, including NF-κB signaling. This increases pro-inflammatory cytokines and can damage endothelial cells lining blood vessels. Chronic low-grade inflammation is linked to, let's see it, metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative disorders, cell brain instability, Cell membranes are made of fat. When highly oxidizable PUFAs accumulate in membranes, they become more vulnerable to oxidative damage. This can alter membrane fluidity, disrupt receptor signaling, and impair normal cellular communication under stress. Why reheating makes it worse. Each heating cycle destroys natural antioxidants in the oil, increases aldehyde concentration, increases polymerized and degraded fats. In commercial fryers, right, so this is at restaurants, this is kind of when they're the worst. Oil may be reused for hours or days. A lot of them get skimmed, but that's just physical byproducts. Meanwhile, the chemical stuff is what you should really be concerned at. Reheated oil is chemically very different from fresh oil, right? Smoke point is not the main marker. A high smoke point does not mean the oil is stable. Oxidation begins well below smoke point. Refining and deodorizing remove smell, but do not prevent oxidation chemistry. High smoke point doesn't equal resistance to oxidative breakdown. Even without cooking, oxidation in the body. When consumed, they're incorporated all your cells, and LDL particles in the bloodstream, which LDL, that's what heart thinks drives heart disease, right? And they make LDL more susceptible to oxidative modification. Oxidized LDL is strongly associated, more so than LDL in general, by the way, with foam cell formation and plaque development. As linoleic acid accumulates in the body over time, the proportion of oxidizable fat in tissues increases. When fat is mobilized for energy, more polyunsaturated fat enters circulation. Alright, the core argument. It's not about instant poisoning, it's repeated exposure to oxidized lipid byproducts over time. They cause metabolic dysfunction. This is what heart fails you to warn you about, and it's the most blatantly dangerous part. Sadly, this isn't even the full argument. Seed oils are high in calories in general, yet destitute in nutrition. They have no micronutrients, almost. Because of the industrial refining, bleaching, and deodorizing process, it removes most of their vitamins and antioxidants. While they contain some essential fatty acids, they are calorie-dense, highly processed, and lack the comprehensive nutrients found in whole foods. So in my opinion, it's not something we should be eating. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day.